Peace in Ukraine wasn't some far-off dream. It was on the table, within reach. Back when Trump was in office, there was no love lost for Putin. But he didn't let things spiral out into an all-out proxy war either. Then Biden took over. And then Zelensky got the stage he always wanted. And then the war dragged on. But now with Trump back in the office and rumblings with some serious peace talks, there was a genuine sense that things might finally cool down. Trump reportedly pushed a deal, leaned hard on Zelensky, and it actually looked that some kind of a truce might be shaping up. But what followed has thrown everything into chaos. Out of nowhere, an alleged assassination attempt, yes, the assassination attempt on Putin has hit the headlines. And not some whispered threat either. Russian state media and military brass are describing it as a full-blown coordinated drone strike designed to take out the Russian president mid-air. According to the Russian reports, Putin was en route to Kursk region, recently retaken from the Ukrainian forces when his helicopter found itself smack in the middle of a massive Ukrainian drone swarm. The commander of the air defense in the area, Yuri Dashkin, stated that Putin's chopper was at the epicenter of the operation to repel this serious assault. Dashkin told that the anti-air units were scrambling on two fronts, defending hundreds of incoming drones and ensuring that the president's aircraft stays in the sky. He claimed that every drone was shot down and Putin was never harmed. But let's be honest, whether exaggerated or not, this story is making the rounds for a reason. Moscow wants the world to believe that Ukraine just tried to assassinate the Russian leader, and that is doing so while peace talks are underway. So one can clearly see here that Ukraine is not acting as a victim anyway. It is acting as a saboteur of peace, and it is catching on. The drones attack aren't letting up either. Hundreds have been launched in the past week alone, paralyzing airports, hitting infrastructure, and reportedly also aiming to disrupt the civilian life in Russia. Well, if this continues, peace isn't an option anymore because Ukraine doesn't want it anyway. And conveniently, this is what Russia is propagating too. This incident has given Russia yet another cover for what comes next. An unprecedented missile and drone barrage on Ukraine, hitting Kyiv and multiple cities across the country. According to Ukraine's own emergency service, 12 people, including 3 children, were killed. Over 60 were injured as Russia launched 69 missiles and 298 drones overnight on 25th of May. Ukraine's Air Force say that they managed to shoot down most, 45 missiles and 266 drones, but 22 locations still got hit. This attack coincided with the Kyiv Day, a national holiday meant to celebrate the capital, not to watch it burn. Even the US media couldn't downplay the scale. NPR called it the largest single attack of the more than 3-year-long war. Ukraine's Air Force confirmed it was the heaviest assault on Russia since 2022. And here is where it gets really tense. Trump's camp isn't thrilled. Patience is running thin in Washington. The last round of peace talks in Istanbul went nowhere, and now this drone debacle has given Western hawks more excuses to slap fresh sanctions on Moscow. Putin, meanwhile, is also not sitting back. Reportedly, he is ready to expand the ground operation using a buffer zone strategy to push deeper into Ukraine and stop the drone attacks at their source. Russian forces are reportedly advancing into Donetsk and even the parts of Sumy, claiming 3 new settlements in recent days. So what is Zelensky's game? Well, some say that this whole drone fiasco is exactly what it looks like. A desperate move to stop peace in its track. Because for him, peace isn't survival. It is a political death. If a deal is signed, the war narrative that's kept him afloat crumbles, and so does his chair. The stakes have never been higher, but if this really was an assassination attempt on Putin, one thing is clear. Zelensky may have just played his last card, and it could blow up on everyone's face.